Hi guys, I'm back again. I got another speed build for you today. This one I built over a couple of days, just because I needed a little bit of a break from it. I did quite a lot of, not necessarily landscaping, but I used a lot of plants to create a pond type area. And yeah, it took me quite a long time to faff around with that, so I'll probably cut some of that out actually, just because I spent so long doing it. So this is another house build inspired by Breakpoint and some of the modern kind of eco houses in that game. I really enjoyed doing these. I like that I don't normally build in Oasis Springs. It's a bit out of my comfort zone. I normally do quite traditional houses or bungalows. Don't necessarily do anything this modern. So I really have enjoyed doing these. It's just kind of pushed me a little bit to, like I say, build outside my comfort zone. You'll notice that the floor plan changes a lot. I fiddle around with that for ages. It was initially a 1-bedroom, but then I realised this was the biggest lot in the neighbourhood, so I wanted to have more than 1 bedroom, so it ended up being 2-bedroom in the end. And actually the floor plan worked a lot better with a 2nd bedroom, because there would have been a lot of wasted space with just the 1 bedroom. It was ended up a strange L shape, and I couldn't figure out where to put the bed, so yeah, I think I just needed a little bit of a break from it just to kind of take a look at the whole thing, and I did change the layout. And again, I didn't realise again it had stopped recording in part of the audio, part of the video even, sorry, because I accidentally clicked off of my Sims game. So here you can see me trying to figure out how I want to do the like pagoda on the top. I faffed around with it for quite a while. I wanted to do some like stone paving slabs that led up to it, because that's how it looked in the game. Because I actually went in and used my drone to kind of get different angles of the house so I could see what it looked like. It's not exactly the same, and I changed the floor plan a lot, but it's loosely inspired by one of the pieces of architecture in Breakpoint. So here's me just making a little veranda area on the roof. My least favourite part is trying to delete the flooring through all the flowers and that. So in the end I used these rugs from Get Together. I've seen quite a lot of people do this on YouTube, to use them as stones or paving slabs or something along those lines, so yeah. And I've not used full length windows again. I decided to do slightly shorter ones. Just because I think sometimes they're a bit too much, having like a full length window. It's not quite. So yeah, here I am. I'm already fiddling around with the floor plan. And that little piece on the front wasn't originally in it. It wasn't a room. So I made it into like a little utility kind of area. This is the bedroom that in the game, it's like a bedroom, and then it's got an adjoining sitting room. So I was initially going to do that, but again, it wasn't really making most of the space. So then I try and put in a 2nd bathroom, and then I love those. I think they're meant to be like wall decor things, but I like use them as like dividers as well. and I pinched someone's idea that I've seen. I can't remember whether it was on Pinterest or YouTube. I need to go and have a look and see so I can give them credit. But I love, they made like a trellis out of them by putting a horizontal and a vertical one on top of each other, like overlaid them. And I thought that looked really cool. So I pinched that idea. Oh, here I had a bit of a battle getting, because I edited the wall. I had a bit of a battle to get the roof right. And yeah, this is where I was really starting to like the look of the roof with the kind of planter areas, and here I start to get in some of the landscaping. I spent ages doing this pool, as you can see. It looks a really strange shape initially, but I end up putting a lot of plants around and kind of smoothing the edges with rocks and various plants. So there is a ladder. When I finish doing it, there's a ladder so your Sims can actually swim in the pool. So it's not just for show, you can use it. But yeah, I spent absolutely ages faffing around with so many layers of different plants and looking at the landscape around the house to see what other plants I could kind of throw in there. I ended up using quite a lot from, oh my gosh, I've forgotten what it's called now. Island Living came back to me. I ended up using quite a lot of the plants from that. And some of the debug items out of Strangerville, just because they had some nice different looking cacti. I love these lilies on the pond. I think they look really cool. So yeah, there's the ladder gone in. And then I'm just trying to figure out, I didn't know whether to put it on stilts, but then I realised that there'd be quite a right angled bit by the pond, so I decided against that. And then here I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to put out on these kind of veranda areas. I use these glass railings just to kind of break it up a little bit. Purely because it just looked a little bit open. And then I put some more plants in that window, make that a bit of a feature, because that's going to be opposite the lounge, so I thought that was quite a nice little area to have some. And that's where, this is where I discover some of the Strangerville debug items. And I start placing those down and adding a little bit more colour around the swimming pool. So I've made it look kind of a bit like a pond, but it is functional, you can swim in there. So, and then I kind of got swept away with the landscaping, with the plants and things. So I thought, while I'm in the mood, I'm just gonna make the rest of it kind of fit. I'm still not sure how I feel about this pavement. I did it in the last one as well. Like, I had a winding pavement and I wasn't a massive fan, but it kind of works. So yeah, and then here I used the areas like for these planters out of Eco Living. I spent ages faffing around with those and just getting them in line. I've added some more of these planters around the house just to fill gaps really, and they fit in quite nicely in little narrow spaces. So this does have a washing machine and a tumble dryer. Obviously, if you want, you can take those out. But then it does have an airer and a wash bucket as well. So now I'm just putting in the Eco Living items, the wind turbines, some solar panels on the ground, some roof ones. Just trying to get as much in there as I can really. Then working on the landscaping on the roof. I wasn't sure how this was going to look, but actually I ended up really liking it. I thought I think if that palm was any bigger, it would have looked strange, but because I sized it down a couple of times, it wasn't too bad. And then this is where I came back to it the next day. And I made the bathroom smaller, put in a small corridor, which led to a second bedroom. And now I'm just working on the kitchen. I had kind of an idea in my mind of what I wanted to do in the kitchen before I had a break, really. I knew that I wanted that little cubby to be a utility, to house the washing machine, tumble dryer, and a sink. And then that gives you plenty of work surface in the kitchen, so it's not taking up too much space. So there's a few kind of decorative items in there, all the essentials, microwave, coffee machine. Then there's some wall details as well. I took a while choosing the bin. I eventually decided to have one on the wall. So it was a debug item, but they came with City Living. So in the apartments you have the wall kind of trash compactor things. But I thought that was quite a cool way of saving space as well. And you'll notice as I go through, I keep coming across items that I know are going to be useful later. So I just keep plonking them in various places around the house. So there's the wall decoration, the cacti planter over on the right, the umbrella stand by the door. You'll notice the floor plan change in a minute again. Just adding a few little details into the kitchen, a few decorations, just to make the space look not quite so bland. So yeah, moving on to the dining room. I've used this nice big table. I did want to get a bar in there, and then I remembered about the globe because the bar looked a bit too bulky, but that actually fit in quite nicely. I'd change up the decor in here a little bit, because I didn't like how this looked initially. There we go, I changed it to the yellow and the reds and the purples. And that's where I accidentally clicked off my screen. So I've put 2 rugs down in the dining room, and then I started making this kind of unit around the TV, just to make the most of the wall, because I didn't want to size it up, because it looked a bit strange, didn't really work. So yeah, I think I missed off about maybe 10 minutes of footage, which isn't the end of the world, but it's just a little bit irritating. So yeah, in a moment, when I finish decorating here, I'm going to add in another wall, just to kind of close off the sitting room space, and because there was a really weird space behind it, so I turned that into a bit of a study area, a bit of a quiet place with a bookshelf and some seating and the desk, just so that it's kind of a bit more shut off. And I put a window between the two. You'll see in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself now. So I end up putting this brick in as kind of a feature wall, just without the pattern, because both the rugs are quite patterned. The bright colours are quite garish. So there's that wall and the window in. I used this shelving unit from Eco Lifestyle. I keep calling it Eco Living. I think it's because everything else is City Living, Island Living. I don't know why they switched it up really, but never mind. Yeah, I put that in to use it as kind of a divider, just so it's not completely shut off, but there's not another wall. And then I pop this little seating area in, and a plant, wall decorations, and then just have a little look around, make sure I'm happy with it. Oh, you'll see there, I thought about putting in the 2-way window that came with Get to Work, just because I thought it'd be quite cool to have the mirror on one side and be able to see through on the other. But I decided against it in the end. And here I'm moving on to the main bathroom. I've gone for quite a bright look in here. I wanted to get a big kind of light feature on this wall, and I ended up using the lighting, I think it's from Moschino stuff. And when I go in to take pictures in gameplay, I do change the colour of the lighting to the same sort of turquoisey colour that's the theme in there. And then I just put a little bit of decoration in that hallway just so it's not completely empty or bland. I spent a little while having a look at the various different colours, which I cut out because I couldn't decide on how I wanted to do this room. So it's a very girly room. Obviously it can be changed up, but yeah, it ended up very girly. I mean, obviously it could be used as a boys' room. Depends on the style they like, but yeah, for me it's quite a girly room. So originally this was just going to be one bedroom, but it left a really weird space, as I said earlier, so I decided to add in a second bedroom. It took me longer. It took me longer to do than I thought it was going to. And then I realised when I'd kind of done with the decoration of the room, I hadn't really got any child objects in there. So in went the toy box, the Dr. Bear, which helps them raise their empathy. And then I decided with this bathroom, the ensuite, the master bedroom, that I was going to go for kind of a colour scheme and a style I wouldn't normally do. Just to kind of switch it up a little bit. Like, you've got the light and airy bathroom as the main one. I thought we'd go for something a little darker, and then pulled out the turquoise off of the shower curtain. It's probably a bit of an acquired taste. I'm still not entirely sure how I feel about it, but it's different to what I normally do, so I'm going to stick with that. And this is the master bedroom. I spent ages faffing around in here trying to get the perfect position for everything. And it's actually quite a big space, so I ended up putting in some items that I probably wouldn't normally put in the bedroom, like the shelving unit, some armchairs, and then I used the dressing table in the corner just because there was plenty of room. So, and then I go to just adding in decor items. I end up changing the bedside lamp because I remembered a post I'd seen on Pinterest. It was just like an interior design post with the low-hanging lights next to the bed, and I really liked how that looked, so you'll see that change shortly. I tried to find similar colours to the bedding, so this was as close as I could find them, and I think it's a pretty good match. But yeah, that was another instance where I accidentally clicked off, went into the menu, and it ended up pausing my gameplay, but I noticed immediately, so I was able to kind of get straight back into it. I remember when I finished up the bedroom, I thought, kind of gave a big sigh of relief. I was like, it's finished. Then I realised I hadn't done any of the patio. So then I was kind of racking my brain thinking, what do I want to put out here? So I've used a lot of these island living, the little seats, like the little benches, because I thought they were quite nice dotted around. I've turned this into a barbecue area, and there was like a little fireplace round by the bedroom, and there's also access from it from the main part of the house. I put in a tall table in front of that window, and a mini fridge outside, I think because it's undercover, it should work fine. Because I know when it rains, if you've got seasons, when it rains on electronics, they cease to work, they break. So yeah, I tried to do something different with that big planter at the front, but it didn't look right. So now I'm just going around adding some lights outside because I realised I didn't have any. A few little planters out of debug. And again some more out the front, just so as there's plenty of room for growing plants. I wanted to put this barbecue pit in, again out of Island Living, but I couldn't find any space downstairs, obviously, because I've landscaped the hell out of it. So actually it worked really nicely under the canopy on the roof. So I used lots of different chairs, lots of different stools, and kind of turned it into a barbecue pit area. And I wanted to have a variety of different seating on the roof. So we've got the bench, the seats around the fire, a couple of areas where you can sunbathe, and then just a little sitting area with candles. And I thought that looked really cute. So yeah, that's the end. I can't believe I've managed to talk the whole way through that, but thanks for watching, and I will see you soon. And just quickly before I'm off, remember to go and follow me on Instagram and Twitter at @eKevysons.